I was born in a place of privilege. Great and grandparents filled the ditch from my life's pilgrimage. Big Papa driven out of his native village. Turks rode in rash, remorseless, began to pillage. Cause they hate the Christian and the life that came with it. They let the avarice fire blaze livid and did an eviction. Death march as many Armenians lived it and lost. 1.5 million, that's a quarter of the Holocaust. Entire empire guilty of the great crime. No matter how much we cry, still they won't put out the fire. So neither do we. Memorial fires flare eternally for the great debt of the Middle East. We forgive but don't forget in the least. Akil Z speaks. To beat the beast, we would need 3 leagues of men at least. Sire, how can we even aspire to make the beast tire, let alone to cease the fire? My dear brother, indeed times are dire. Regardless of whether we die, our deed is to rise higher. Please believe in God's desire. And what if our time expires? A virgin should not retire. My foremost fervent disciple, either find the heart to fight or deflate to the empire and trigger the maker's ire. Put on your entire battle attire and do not forget to bring the lyre. So Nick equipped a gauntlet to both wrists and made a fist, conscious of the close risk. He covered his shoulders with a shell as bold and old as boulders. He hoped to evade being smoldered. And he put chain mail on his thighs so he could be wise and sly. Using his size, defy his demise. This compact package stores potential as a capacitor. Carry on active is essential as the Lord's ambassador. I stroll through the valley of wild freight death. Untouched by the shades, they pay me respect. Held up by the right arm of the Lord. Equipped with the mind, divine armor and sword. Upon its blade did fall many hordes of men struck with such force and thrown off their horse as well as life's course. Handled with care, although coarse was the handle from years of wear and tear. No sheath to conceal or for much needed rest. He always had it out as he did his chest. Old battles cover the grip in mud still. Issues his sword straddles, but from the tip the blood spills as ink from a quill. History is written by his power and will, and a history was written on the steel he did wield. With subtle tells of his time on the battlefield, this hero carried no shield. The phoenix soars north on the pommel of the hilt. The zenith of the sword forms the sharpest ever built. Crest of a noble family is faded and nearly damned to be forgotten. From the forces faced in blade race forays made handily. The fabled flame-feathered bird flew off in the haze and rust. The broadsword endured dangerous dealings and dwellings. The image dwindles as the swelling of war against wielder's palm will soak the pommel as blows are performed. Although with no physical shield, the blows of foes are born forlorn. The blade was slick as a running river, frozen mid-flux in a winter when the wolves would shiver and the stoically naked trees quiver in the clear wind whispering sinister winds. One's reflection in the steel is said to reveal one's soul as opposed to one's real. An honor most hope that life never deals. An indentation on the cross guard is an indication of a time he was fought hard. It was the night of the Sabbath that he sparred a man like woolly mammoth in the fall dark. Rain fell as leaves did in this season, and for this reason his vision was impeded. Victory in this mission was severely needed. After a half hour the mammoth man conceded, losing his heart of rage and brain of irrational power, defeated in the dust of dusk, washed away in the lavish shower. Truly a spectacle this sword was to see. The very beast now angrily revealed itself from 2 trees. Nick spoke first, purposefully to settle its steam. The fact you want to battle me is ridiculous. Carry the Yeretsian name, but I'm the division of Nicholas. My will is vigorous. Married to so many skills, I'm like a polygamist. Resume list, slayer of the basilisk and other monstrous. Victorious with no horse. His hair flows as oceans, always focused, unconcerned with hocus pocus. Doesn't beat around, he talks to the bush like Moses. In battle, watch how he closes. Poised and always respectful to opponents. I'm a straight edge, so I draw straight my tool and put a nickel plate into fools. Nick the quick, pay attention or I'll bust your lip, make you trip and burn you with a candle's wick. Battling me is like coming into a cul-de-sac. People only enter to turn around and go back. Here's your chance to turn away, to leave this land you've enslaved till this day. But for Nick Y, there was no reply. The beast's presence was his pride, and he gave a blood-blazing eye. Flame exhaling, roaring and heavy breathing, slick-handed down sword gleaming in the cold freezing domain of his bane, bold blade gripped tight-handed by the hero, steaming is the nose of the unfed fiend low. And behold, as they study each other's gaze, twitch, then a feign, dodging a flame to the brain, swiftly foray with force and much divine aid. Veins pulsate with rage, unfazed the dragon sways left and strikes back. Unafraid, the warrior steps right and hits fat. Dazed, the devil was amazed by the rebel, lashed out in a craze-driven rage, striking several oaks down in the surrounding space. Nick had to ease the beast, chasing him at an astounding pace, lest he amount to a feast for the teeth as bleak as mountain peaks. So summoning Z, Nick prayed he to play a melody. A keel revealed the lyre and inspired the demon's sleep. The song was so admired, the fire retired in his teeth, distracting its senses while Y beat it senseless and proceeded to leap on the heap that was left of his fallen nemesis, and stripped the thunderous scales that covered the creature. Slick, rugged, detailed were some of its features. That night, our lightning-quick knight merited the palm upon severing evil's reaching arm, and he will bear it to and throughout the dawn.